Back. It's all Connor's fault that we took a little while longer. What's interesting is I didn't know when I said that Connor and Bearded's cameras would switch positions. I'm gonna go ahead and swap them back.
Thanks.
Bearded's internet died and is back now. Friends, could you do me a huge favor real quick, good friend Bearded, and roll a d20?
I can indeed.
Me. Okay, can you check Discord real quick? I'm gonna send you a message.
Ah, shit.
By the way, did we recognize the voice?
Yeah, it sounded like a woman, but it's coming through at least one, possibly two door.
I'm hearing the woman sound, and I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good.
Yep, go ahead.
All right.
How long has it been since we came down here? Like since we talked
30
to
seconds.
Since we talked to the elves, I mean.
I would say probably about 10 minutes.
Alright, then I'll recast it.
I shall cast it as well.
Okay, thanks, Bearded. All of you are... all three of you suddenly touch yourself and go, protection from good and evil.
Heck yeah.
We're paranoid now.
About 20 seconds later, you hear a door open up, and then some click, click, click footsteps that sound a lot like high heels on stone. And a faceplate that you didn't notice opens up on the door, and you definitely see a pair of eyes staring out from them, and they say, "Oh my gosh, are you Ash?"
Yes.
It's so much about you from my sisters. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. What have you all come to the market for? Buying or selling?
Must have made quite an impression, Ash. Buying, please.
And what are you looking to well, generally, what goods, so I can direct you to the right location?
There's a couple things on our mind. Is there anything that's a good deal today?
Oh, well, we just sold a parcel of magical beast meats, various organs and such, to some fellows who pass through. I don't want to say too much, you know, we really value our clients' privacy.
Right. No, that sounds wonderful. Yes, direct us that way.
Of course. And what will you be paying with?
Gold.
Good enough. She opens the door. So she opens the trick door. So it's a one-way door. It is set inside of the larger iron door frame. It just opens up. What you see is a black hair pulled back into a ponytail, a cute little mole beside her chin. Definitely seems to be trying to pull off a sexy librarian look. Just a little hint of cleavage. Probably the most clothing you've ever seen a succubus wear. Two cute, tiny horns. But every time she looks at Ash, her tail goes from like a cat's lazily whipping around to whoosh, 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 whoosh. And she like bows to all of you and says, "Please come in. It's been so long since we've had human visitors, a minotaur. You're not from around here, I can tell."
No, we're around from a lot of places.
So let me show you kind of what things look like. There's no lighting down here, so people with dark vision are the only one that can see very far. Otherwise, you're completely blinded in darkness. I guess I forgot to mention that. Ash, there is literally no way that Echo's going to be able to make it through this location. It's not happening.
So I send him back.
You dismiss him?
Yeah.
As you do, your new friend, Secretary Succubus, is just like, "Oh, you know, if you're here, Ash, then you must be Lyra."
Hi.
I've heard a lot about you. You're the one that dispelled the prison lock.
Yes.
So you're behind Ash, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
She begins moving to like push past Ash to make her way to you.
Okay, I'm gonna block her way.
She's just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just really thankful. You know, we were all stuck here for such a I don't want to leave. Let me be really clear here, okay? I love what I do here. My job is great. You know, people that I don't like can't interrupt me. I have guards. But some of my sisters, you know, they have needs that they cannot get in here on a regular basis. And I'm so glad that you were able to let everybody out. I really appreciate what you did.
So Baldric looks at
So it's like
Lyra
Baldric and Ash
so
are like lion blackers blocking for this, let's say 5'8" succubus librarian who's just trying to get to Lyra, super excited. Every time she looks at Ash, her tail.
Seems you have an admirer.
Ash, she reaches out to put a hand on your bicep and is like, look, I don't want to be too forward. You seem like you're very pure, like so pure. And if I'm smelling correctly, you actually have king's blood in you. Look, if you ever want to convert, like I'm not saying you have to, but if you ever want to convert, I will corrupt you. Like, it will be thorough.
I'll have to take
Just
you
an
up some other
offer,
time.
just keep it on the table. You know, great power, lots of fun.
I could understand how it would be fun. In the meantime, though,
I feel like my sisters might have left a bad impression on you, and I just want to let you know that we're not all like that.
well, I can carry a tune a little bit better now. So for that, I have to be thankful.
Okay.
Baldric would like to. What's that one where you try to detect if they're lying or not? Insight.
Insight.
I want to do an insight because that's actually one of my strong points on if she is lying about meaning us harm or not.
Sure.
Ash, I can't see. Could you do that thing you did?
A 6 insight? Look, Baldric, you have never seen such a beautiful creature before in your life. And she's completely smitten with Ash, paying no attention to you. I mean, it is frustratingly difficult to get a read on her when she is, like, pushing up against him.
So I say, what I would really like to know is if you've seen a woman by the name of Wynn, maybe she's been around here.
Oh, like I said before, I can't talk about other clients' merchandise or transactions.
Yeah, I understand. So you're saying there has been a transaction with her?
There is a possibility that such a thing might have occurred. I would speak with any sellers in the flesh market.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the information.
So you can direct us to there?
It will be... I can take you there if you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your first visit?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we step into my office and I'll talk to you about the rules.
Anyone shed some light? If not, I'm going to light a torch.
Okay, you...
I light a candle. That's all I have.
I have a cantrip I can light. I'll light, well, I won't do that. Oh, that's your torch. Your torch suffices for now.
As more light comes down, Ash, Baldric, Lyra, none of you have dark vision. So Aldana's the only one that got a clear look at this woman.
No, I have dark vision.
Really? Oh, that's right. You're Asmar. You're not fully human. She is fairly curvaceous, insofar as she's wearing clothing that would normally not make it visible for one. You would have to be ridiculously audacious in order to wear this and still somehow have a body type. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not saying like sweatshirt level, but yeah, like we're talking librarian robes from the Middle Ages kind of deal, and a long skirt. Very unsuccubus-like. She leads you all into the next room, which is not defaced like the entrance room. However, The floor is covered in dirt, bone shards, books are everywhere. There are pathways that are like 1 to 2 people wide through this area that you can safely navigate, and bookshelves are set into the walls with like thousands of books here. She's like, just take a seat on any of the stacks and I'll explain to you what's happening.
So we're in this main room?
It's in this next room. Yep. Yes. So, this is, I guess it was once called the prison of Aelberod King, but we just call it the market now. I and many of my companions, extra-planar entities, entered this place looking for, you know, what we would look for, and we were trapped here by the trap effect. So really, Lyra, thank you so much for, you know, letting everybody else out. Not that I want to go anywhere. I just want new people to come in, you know. I like meeting people in a very controlled environment like this. She gestures over to the eastern door, which appears to have been constructed entirely out of bone. This place was once a prison by a long dead empire. The price that they paid to have gatekeepers like infernals such as myself was that we would get to feast on the prisoners for 1,000 years, 1,000 times. So there's like a couple thousands left to go. We get free access into here. It's pretty nice. Anyway, there's a market. Don't tell anyone what you buy here. Don't tell anyone what you sell here. That kind of deal. Keep it all on the down low. I understand that several of you are paladins, and we don't judge you for your religion or your life choices. We just ask that you don't do the same for us. You know, don't judge us. Some of us are just trying to get by. You know, we didn't choose to be born this way. We just want to read books and maybe sell some things.
I make no promises, but I judge people by their actions first, when possible.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
And so how does one get out of this place?
The same way you got in, I would assume. I've never actually left before.
Okay. Well, if that's the history lesson, will you show us the market then?
Well, there's one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're paladins, and I know that Lyra is a very righteous woman, according to the theater that I've heard recreated. I just don't want you doing anything that would violate the rules here. Should know that rules? There are various things for sale that you may not agree with, but by entering, you consent that you will not interrupt in any of these affairs. Also, you should note that there may be several parties here that are hostile to you. You might have to fight your way through some rooms. Should that be the case, the guards will not help you. We are only here to protect the sellers. And when I say we, it's not me, because I'm not going to fight anybody. I don't like fighting.
So we must respect the rules, but also may have to fight our way through.
I understand that it sounds like it's going to be difficult. It's a very difficult balancing act, keeping all of the various parties that like to enter this place.
Can you tell us if Wynn is in here?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, that's not great.
Unless you roll well.
Yeah, you gotta do is roll well.
I tried to ask her before. I didn't get a persuasion check.
That's a perception.
Oh, my bad.
Well, you got a 12 on the
14.
die. What's your persuasion bonus?
It is -1, so it's 11.
Okay. She says, I'm sorry. We have rules here.
But surely you might make an exception to the rule for. I mean, we've provided you with so much entertainment.
It is definitely one of the things we came here to acquire. If you could help us in any way, really appreciate it. I can roll persuasion if you want.
I feel like Ash can roll persuasion with advantage from Aldana.
Right.
She says,
Swish, swish, swish.
I
swish.
can take you to the cellar. I just want a little bite. Would that be okay? Just a little bit of blood.
I'm sorry. I can't oblige. Maybe next time.
She looks like she's about to cry. She's like,
Surely you wouldn't deprive her.
I'm going out of my way to help you, and I'm trying to be so nice, and everyone is casting mean spells around me, and they don't want me to be here, and I just want a little bit of king's blood.
And put my hands on her shoulder. Surely you wouldn't deprive her of just this small.
You have been so nice. I appreciate it. However, again, maybe next time. I'll have to.
What if
take
I
a rain
just
check on that?
What if I just, lick some sweat around your throat?
It's just a little sweat.
You could see her hands going like this. She's like getting close to you. There are tears in her eyes. She's sobbing.
Maybe on our way out, I can
Okay.
promise you something.
She sniffles and pulls out a little handkerchief from a pouch pocket and just says, just give me a moment. I thought you were a better man than this.
I just
If I
wanna,
gave, if I
lean
gave
over
it
to
up,
Ash.
I'm sorry.
I want to lean over to Ash and whisper, I think she likes you.
I'll kneel down to her and be like, "It'll be all right. I'll talk to him."
She blows her nose and says, I thought he was like a prince who was also a pirate, who might have been a vampire at some point. He's so handsome and he smells really good.
I think you've read too many novels, darling.
All I know is what my sisters told me of his play that they personally wrote and produced.
Your sisters sound like jack of all trades.
They're real devils. She moves to the bone door and says, all right, okay, just follow me, I suppose, and opens the door.
As we're going through, Baldric will ask, where do these other doors go?
You don't need to worry about them now. Ash, when you enter this room, there are 2 dead ogres. It's the same 2 ogres you saw before.
What happened to them?
You can see that their throats have been cut, and they're still bleeding out in the north corner of the room. So this room is much larger. As you can see, it's like 40 by 40. Pretty cavernous, fairly tall. There are multiple doors, including a portcullis. Behind that portcullis is some sort of goblinoid creature that is sitting at a desk with a pen and a stack of papers. It says something to you in Goblin. Is not Govornak? And she waves her hand, and he says, "Oh, you speak common, yes? Welcome to the flesh market."
Thank you so much for having us.
Tiny little wings sprout on this succubus's back, and she rises like 1 foot into the air and kind of dejectedly flies back into the library room, sighing the whole time.
I'll see you soon.
I think you might have hurt her feelings.
Real heartbreaker.
Jeez.
So you can see that beyond the portcullis, there are four 5, 6 other doors, including the one you've come through, all of various makes. In this room, everything seems to be kept fairly clean, except for the dead, bleeding out ogres in the north corner. And this hobgoblin is like tapping at the desk set against the portcullis, and he's like, "Hello, anyone paying attention? Here, do some business." Flesh market?
Yes, flesh market.
Yep, sound familiar?
She was trying to lead us to a cellar, I believe.
Yep.
And now she's gone.
Yep.
I believe he's the seller.
I am the front man for our organization.
We're looking for a human woman named Wynn.
Yep. What's your business with her?
She's a friend of
just
ours.
looking at this map, Ash is like 30 feet away. You can barely see this guy with the torchlight. Lyra's standing there with the candle, and Baldric and Ardonna are watching the succubus librarian sit down and read a book in the middle of this dirty room. As you get closer, Ash, you can see this guy takes some papers and covers his other papers, and says, "What's your business with her?"
She's taken a certain item of ours, and we wish to retrieve her so that we may procure that item.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You seem like you're a whole room and a half away from me.
I get closer, John.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the papers while he's getting closer.
Okay. Make a perception check. Speak Goblin?
No.
You get a very good look at a bunch of records in Goblin.
Okay. I speak Orc.
Orc is not
close?
Goblin.
Not the same.
Okay.
What a fucking racist. Listen to this goddamn dwarf.
Look, I mean, it might be relevant.
Same
That's all.
shit.
You're like, yeah, they use the same alphabet, don't they? Yeah, they use the same alphabet in the way that English and Russian do.
Same alphabet.
Yeah, so he seemed pretty off-put and says, "Oh, so you need something from Wynn. Unfortunately, she was only in our care for a very short amount of time. We took her off of one client and passed her along to another."
More travel. Is there any way you could tell us what cellar you sold her to?
There is.
What's the price?
What do you have? Slaves? Magic beasts?
No slaves.
Animals?
No magic beasts. Perhaps we could procure one for you.
Gold?
Is there anything... We have gold.
How much?
How much is she worth?
That's not how a bribe works.
Yes, well, I'm not just going to give you all my gold, so...
I will tell you the price that was paid for her. A substantial flesh debt was alleviated by the purchaser. This market, the flesh market, owed the purchaser quite a bit, and this woman was used to cover that debt in entirety. Very valuable.
Very.
Highly sought after. She was screaming the whole time, too. You know, some Ash will come to save me. Well, I have to tell you, this Ash fellow, I can't wait to meet him. I've heard so much. I went to one of the performances last night by the sisters. Fantastic.
We did do a good job, didn't we?
It was just like rubbing her temples every time they mention it.
And what was the price asked?
He just kind of coughs and goes back to shuffling some papers.
How much information will 3 gold buy?
I think he laughs in a kind of derogatorily surprised way, like 3 gold. Wow. So you want to buy a coffee for 25 cents, huh? Okay. That kind of deal. And then goes back to shuffling papers, pretending to be busy and ignore you in the process.
As he's ignoring us, I'll go back to the group and see how much gold we have between all of us. So, she's not here, but bright side, we can possibly get some information out of this guy if we have enough coin. Alternatively, he spoke of magical beasts.
Only
Got
the next
7.
day, right?
It's on the next day.
Let's go up and see if we can find out where they went.
I think we can try. I say, so I walk up and I say, listen, friend, I think we're going to be people you want to get to know.
Oh.
It'll be good to owe us favors. So for us to owe you a favor.
Listen, newcomer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't owe favors to newcomers. They owe me favors. All right? This is a business.
And a business needs credit. That's precisely what I'm offering you right now.
You need credit.
Ash, let's go outside for a minute. I have an idea.
Okay. Follow her.
Where is outside?
She wants to go out of the temple thing.
As you're leaving, the hobgoblin says, "Wait! I do have a task that you could undertake." You seem like you have a time crunch.
Well,
there's a particular magical beast that lives nearby that has been requested of me. If you were to bring me the bounty of this creature intact and fresh, I would provide you with the location and name of the purchaser of 1 win.
What is the creature and what is this bounty?
He holds up a bounty poster that is very clearly a giant rat.
Let me guess. His name is...
the King of the Giant Rats.
And what would you request of him?
Bring him back fresh. Minimal harm. Dead, of course, but minimal harm. Alive would be even better, really. There are rumor that he possesses bountiful magical assets, and there are several people who are interested in his testicles.
That escalated quickly.
Why?
It's a tradition around the local area. Ground rat testicles are used as a kind of potency. It's assumed that the king of the giant rats will have the most potent.
Well, that's something we didn't need to know.
Can we go outside and talk now, Ash?
Of course.
Don't take too long. Every second that you are away, who knows how much farther away your wind gets. Ash, he says, having realized who you are.
I mean, how could he not recognize me?
As you're leaving, he evilly cackles and does this with his hands, like, I've got you now. And his evil laughing follows you back through the succubus library. She's just kind of sad. So she's in a seated position, but she's sadly floating like 1 inch above the books, up and down. Just kind of sighing dramatically, reading what is very clearly a romance story labeled in common as Captain Tusktooth and the Jewel of Lavore. Ah.
So are we out of earshot?
Where? I mean, how far are you going? Where are you going to? It's not clear to me.
I follow you.
I want to leave.
Okay, so you'd have to go all the way back to the first room.
Okay. Do you guys know how to leave?
I'm assuming the same way we came in.
Okay.
I agree we should probably leave and discuss this.
As You're leaving. Aldana, your succubus friend, just kind of looks sadly at you, having not gotten even a drop of sweat from Ash. As you walk
Ash,
past.
can I talk to you for a moment? Just one moment before we leave.
No, we're leaving right now. So,
I'll
we make
go
our
over
way.
to the succubus and I'll talk to her. The next time we're here, I promise, I'll get you what you want.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. No, I just really like the idea of corrupting a pure, innocent, I would almost hesitate to say virginal, but I'm just too bad for him, His defenses are up, literally, in every way.
Yes, I can see that. But never give up hope. We'll be back.
No, I mean...
I'll leave.
You can hear her muttering in the darkness alone as you all leave. You find your way back to the entranceway, where there are 4 statues from which emerge, the closer you get, a kind of unintelligible mumblings.
Didgeridoo.
It would be a didgeridoo if didgeridoos spoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So I'll do it this time. I'll cut my hand and put some blood on each of the 4 statues.
Sure, roll
We're all
D4.
here. Making sure we're all here, of course. But a D4. Here we go.
A 4 like everybody else. A 1, Baldric. As you do, all 4 of you cramped into these very small statuary area. I mean, we're talking a 5-foot square, so you guys are basically like standing shoulder to shoulder around this area. You find yourself back in the grove.
I want to cast Locate Creature on Wynn.
Very well.
Because I've seen her within 30 feet. At least once.
Correct. What is the distance on Locate Creature?
I think it's 1,000 feet.
You do not
1,000
detect
feet.
her within 1,000 feet.
So Ash, do we know everything that was spoken inside?
Well, I relay that information. I relay that information if it wasn't, if you guys didn't hear it. I say we could try tricking the hobgoblin. Offer him the rat and then renege on the deal. I mean, I wouldn't have any kind of qualms with being duplicitous with such a creature.
I find this whole duplicitous nature is not to my liking.
This place unsettles me.
I agree.
Them selling living creatures unsettles me.
I mean, I'd like to kill him as soon as possible, apart from the fact that I want to find Wynn.
She's nowhere near here, I know that.
It's true. But she's suffering.
How do you know that, Lyra?
True.
So Baldric's asking, how do you know that, Lyra?
I cast a spell and she's not anywhere within 1,000 feet.
Do you think she might have been in the location we just left?
I don't know. They could have lied, that's true.
We could always go back.
We can always tell him we'll take him up on his offer as a way to get him talking again, with enough time for you to cast your spell again to see if she's there.
I cannot.
So you can concentrate on the spell for up to an hour.
Oh, I can?
Yep.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sure.
I cannot not do that.
I guess
must
it's,
do that.
if we just pop into the entranceway again, I don't think it would hurt. I don't know. I don't know if that's breaking their rules. We never really got their rules.
It hurt a little bit. It is blood, after all.
All right, so if we're in agreement, we'll check back again, because it seems like this portal works, knock on wood. Don't know where I heard that phrase before, but I can try to add the blood to get us back inside.
It's a Minotaur saying.
Yeah, it's a Minotaur thing. Yeah, I like it. All right. Let's do it.
You're going back inside?
Yeah, it looks that way.
All right, you all arrive there. Less than a minute later.
There's my other three.
The
Is
door
she
has
in
been
yet?
closed and locked again. And when you arrive, Lyra, you detect no windness.
She just shakes her head. She's not here.
This could be a wild goose chase. I don't know.
But it also could not be a wild goose chase.
Yeah, we could talk to the hobgoblin, accept the quest, and then try and trick him.
Into giving us what?
The information.
Baldric will look at Ash kind of sideways, like, you are a paladin, correct?
We're dealing with duplicitous creatures.
You should be of higher regard. Don't act like them. We've got to find a different way.
What do you suggest?
I have my hammer.
I mean, we could kill every single person here, and it wouldn't necessarily find us win.
And would definitely not be more paladin-y.
It would for me.
I
Sorry,
do not know
but it
if
would
they're
be.
all evil or not.
Sorry?
Hobgoblins
I
and
don't know if they're
succubus.
evil.
Well,
And
they are selling flesh. They're slavers.
that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
So what do you suggest?
I suggest we don't have this conversation here because I don't like to be
I
here.
agree.
Okay.
All right, where to then?
Well, one wants to talk to the hobgoblin, and the other wants to kill everyone in this place. So we have two decisions.
Well, we can
Or-
leave. We
Or we can
teleport back. And
Yeah,
can
we just
discuss.
decided to leave. Yeah.
Let's leave. Let's go back to the cave and see if we can find something that shows us where they were going to take Wynn, who they sold Wynn to. I don't
Well,
know.
they sold Wynn to another party. There could be
That's
anyone
true.
on this island.
I
Someone
agree. Let's
interested
go.
in-
Oops, go ahead.
I agree, we
Baldric,
can go
do
to the cave.
you put your blood on the 4 statues that are making noise?
Yes.
Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, yeah. Let me tell you something. You're getting an awful lot of blood everywhere. You all
Or
teleport
5,
back
6.
to the altar.
Let's go in a direction until we find a place to make camp. If it's the cave, it's somewhere else. There's a chance that while we're walking, we might get close enough that I can detect Wynn. It's not a high chance, but there's a chance.
Sounds good to me.
Let's check the cave because according to the what was that, a hobgoblin? The Rat King might have items of magic. So maybe we should inquire about that.
Or he might know information.
The cave is a safe place to make camp anyway, so let's go.
Let's go.
As quick as we can.
The cave is but a few hours away. Upon arrival, you can see that there is a flood of rats going in and out, carrying things, items of value to rats, bits of cloth, down branches. It's almost militaristic. As soon as you all approach, they begin to scatter until one that is clearly Ratso, the rat that you met before, sees Baldric and makes a squeaking noise, and then all the rats stop and like go on all 4 paws and like bow to Baldric, and then go back to doing their business.
So I'll let the group know I can do this 2 more times. So I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Oh my god. You immediately realize that you have made a huge fucking mistake. You went from a relative level of silence to, oh my god, what are you getting for dinner? Oh, man, I really got to take a poop right now. Someone like, hey, did you just take a poop right in front of me? I'm walking here. There are thousands of rats squeaking away just below the audible level, but now that you understand them, it's a fucking torrent. It's so hard to make out individual voices here. There's so many of them, and they're talking about pooping or collecting objects or about how great they are.
But Ratso's in front of us.
Ratso is moving to rejoin the in-out gap, right? He's bringing something in.
So I'll call out to Ratso. Ratso, if you don't mind, can we speak?
Like 15 rats turn towards you. Your Ratso goes, "Hey, he's talking to me." And the rest of them are like, "Oh, I'm walking here." Ratso giant rats his way over to you. How's it going, rat friend?
Ratso, I'm curious, is your king around?
Yes, he is.
I seek
King
an
of the
audience
giant
with
rats. He's in the cave with the rest of us giant rats.
So we seek an audience with him.
I see. I shall go as your herald then, and let all know that you're coming. So he moves his way into the pack of rats, and then shouts really loudly. So like Lyra, Ash, Aldana, you guys hear like a squeak, squeak. And he goes, "Hey, Baldric's out here!" And everybody's like, "Oh, Baldric!" Like, suddenly, it's a cave of echoing squeaks at a decibel level loud enough to injure your ears. Everybody's like, "Oh, Baldric! I've heard of that guy. I can't wait to meet him! Baldric! Ah, he's really furry. Love that guy."
I wasn't the only rat friend, right? Or another rat friend?
Buttercup.
Buttercup is the other.
Oh,
rat
it's
friend.
Buttercup.
Yep,
Okay.
not Lyra. The rats move to make one Baldric-sized pathway down into the cave, while they continue to go up and down like a water flood of rats.
So I'll beckon the group. You know, if you want to, come with me. But we're going inside the cave to talk with the Rat King.
Rat King, you say? Maybe I could help.
Lead the way.
Okay. So we'll go in the cave.
You head to the cave. The king of rats is sitting in a pool of fetid water, being attended to by other rats. He goes, "Baldric, good to see you. Behold my cave, my prodigy, my spawn, my brood. We redecorated the place. So where once there was like 2 inches of rat poop and some light redecorating by the succubi. You guys had casted Purify the Water here. Everything's filled with poop again, and it looks like new levels of poop. There's nesting going on all over the place. Every corner has a nest. There's like hair and feathers and branches all over the place. There's giant rats everywhere rolling around. He's like, "Look at how great this place is. Really feels like home again."
Yeah, so Baldric will bow to the Rat King. Says, "Mighty Rat King, your place looks fantastic. The decorations is very beseeching. Behooves you, I guess."
Thanks.
So I have some questions. We're still missing a friend, Win, and I'm curious.
Too bad.
I'm curious if any of your entourage or if your peoples have noticed. Like, okay, so let me back up out of character. Does it have the rats even met Win? Like officially?
Yes.
Yeah, Win was there when you first met the Rat King.
Okay, so if you remember when we met, she was, and I'll describe what she looked like. We're still searching for her, and we suspect she might have been taken in and out of the evil temple. So I'm curious if any of your subjects might know anything or have relayed any information to you.
Ask them if they can help us find her.
And if you can assist us in finding her.
Look, Baldric. I don't want to sound speciesist, but the rest of your companions all look the same to me, except for the giant horse. I mean, that one's obviously a friggin' horse, huh? Everybody else? I mean, Buttercup, obviously, like you, fairly unique being. I honestly can't tell the difference between the 3 of those creatures standing behind you.
then have you seen any other creatures similar to my friends recently?
I haven't left the cave since you liberated it. I mean, I could ask around. Hey, anybody seen anything similar to these things standing here? People are just like, oh yeah, saw plenty of them. Yep, south, southeast, south, ogres. Yep. You hear a lot of chatter. I mean, there's hundreds of voices here.
So I'm going to try to pay attention. Does anything sound like what I'm after?
Make
So
an
I'm
investigation check.
trying to sift through the noise.
Ooh, an 8. Yeah, I mean, there's too many voices talking at once.
Yep.
You're hearing a lot of, I heard people going south.
All right, so I'll relay that to the group. I go, while there's nothing conclusive at all, let me tell you, these rats love to talk and talk.
You should warn him that someone wants him.
Say that again?
You should warn him that there's a bounty on him.
So that's good. I want to ask the Rat King if he knows of any, what was that, hobgoblins who may wish you harm.
I don't know anything about no hobgoblins, but plenty of people want to wish me harm. I mean, who doesn't want to come at the king, huh? I mean, this is my cave. People always trying to take my friggin' cave.
You know, King, if I don't overstep a bounds, but do you have any items that people like me or my friends might use?
Oh yeah, look around here. I mean, that is a really nice feather. Look at that. I mean, that is some pocket lint. Okay, you know what? You can start a nice fire with that. Oh, it's nice and it feels good when you rub it up against you. It's warm during the winter.
Well, how about anything metal or wood or shiny?
Oh, plenty of wood around here. I mean, that branch over there, it's pretty dry. It's a good branch. You know, around here you get a lot of wet branches with the mist and all that. It takes a long time for a branch to properly dry out in a kind of, you know, temperate, humid, deciduous forest like this.
So I asked Baldric, what's he saying?
Squeak, 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 squeak.
I'm always relaying it. I'm the
So I'm in the process of
interpreter in this situation, so you guys can jump in anytime.
So while he's sort of talking about and gesticulating about the feather and the branch, I look at those, but then I'm also looking around the cave to see if there's anything of interest otherwise, because we didn't really inspect the cave previously.
I want to ask Baldric to ask if we can stay the night and if we can explore his cave.
So that gets passed on.
He says, look, you're a rat friend. If you want to stay here, you're my guest. You can plop down anywhere.
I thank you, mighty king. Thank you for your generosity. So, pass it on to the group.
What was the other thing that Ash was asking about?
I was going to like follow his lead about what he's talking about with the feather and the branch, but then mask that to be actually inspecting the rest of the
Make
cave.
an investigation check.
Yeah.
So you make some steps around. As you do, the rats get out of your way. Yeah, you don't find anything like magical or overtly valuable here. It's mostly just whatever the rats could drag into here.
There is an exit in the top right?
No, that's just like an alcove, not an exit.
Okay, so there's
I
nothing...
know it appears to be an exit, but it is not actually an exit. Just imagine it's a smooth wall.
Okay, so this is a cave with a single room.
Correct.
Okay.
I only have so many maps.
No
So
problem.
did the Rat King give us permission to look around?
Correct.
Yep.
Then I will walk around making sure not to step on any rats and just kind of checking it out. Looking for anything unusual. Or any sign of the succubus.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I hope you find something. I can't find anything.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking for something that doesn't exist here, Lyra. There's no sign of...
I said anything interesting or anything of the succubus.
Correct. You are very thorough, unlike Baldric and Ash. There is nothing interesting here beyond rat paraphernalia. No sign of the succubuses have been left. The barrels that they used and the clothing that they used have all been cracked open. The dresses that you wore have all been torn to shreds and used to make bedding.
All right, all right.
This is looking like a dead end.
I'm sorry, Ash.
Thank you,
I
Lyra.
hoped we'd find something here.
Yeah, I hope so too. You still have time on your talk to animals thing, huh?
Let me see how much time I got.
You have 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a few minutes left.
So should we warn the Rat King about the threat on his life?
I think I did, or if not, I'll make sure that the Rat King understands that we've had a hobgoblin inquire about him.
There's always someone trying to take the position of king. My brood and I will deal with any single hobgoblin. We're a strong pack of rats.
I look around, I go, I don't doubt that you could handle yourselves, but beware, my friend.
I appreciate the concern, and I thank you for the warning. Are you all bedding down in the rat poop for the night?
What time is it in the day, roughly?
4 o'clock afternoon.
So we have about 2 hours of light. Would you say?
More like 3 to 4, but yeah.
Okay. We still have some light in the day. I just don't know what else we could do.
Are you
should
all
have
bedding down for a night in the cave of the giant rats? I think Bearded just shook his head, but I didn't hear him say anything.
Because my mic is muted. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna bed outside.
Yeah, I think this time around I'd like to go outside as well.
Okay.
In the vicinity, but not directly in the shit.
So before I leave, I'm gonna they seem to like when I purified the water last time.
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
So I'm gonna purify the water under the Rat King.
You can purify the water in the whole room.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Very well. You do so. The rats are thankful. They don't know what you are, who you are. They have no object permanence in regard to you. You're just, a tall man-like object. But they appreciate your effort nonetheless.
I mean, they know I'm associated with Baldric.
Yeah, they're just going to attribute it to Baldric. They'll just be like, Baldric, thanks for your minion purifying the water.
No problem.
Baldric will be, Ash is another rat friend, just so you know.
No, he's not. No.
I'll speak for him. I vouch for him.
He's not a rat friend. Only I, the king of rats, can declare who is a rat friend.
Understood. Understood.
Your squire may serve you, but he is no you.
Before I go to bed, I'm going to spend the rest of the time just going through the files and the paperwork from my husband's work and see if there's any items in the area that I could potentially look for.
Yeah, let's talk about watch order. You're the only one that can see in the dark, Aldana, except maybe Ash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you taking first watch?
Yeah, I'll take first watch.
Talk about everybody else. What are we
I'll
talking
take
about?
last watch.
I'll take the second one.
That makes me third.
Very well. As everyone else beds down, Aldana, you sit before a small fire. Can I have you all make survival checks real quick? I want to know how well this camp went down. Well, not a good start. Got a little better. Okay. Do you all have bedrolls? Did anyone bring lumber for a fire?
I have a blanket and a tinderbox.
Are you going to set the blanket on fire?
No, I just have a tinderbox to start the fire.
That's good. Do you have... I thought Ash brought 2 parcels of firewood in the first episode.
Yeah, somebody did. Like, our group did.
Yes. Okay, so you can use one of those to set a fire. Because as mentioned, it is very difficult to find usable wood around here, and the rats are basically stealing everything in the area to begin with. I wouldn't say stealing, sorry. Acquiring for personal use. So, Aldana, you are sitting alone, looking over your husband's notes about ancient artifacts and magical societies and things like that. When you feel a hand on your shoulder and you look up, and it is your god, Heros Lightbringer. And he sits down on a log next to you, and it's just like, how's it going, kid?
Not well, it seems. I haven't found much, and as to where the people who took my husband's life are, that I also have come up short. Why are you here?
Just, you know, you seem like you needed some divine guidance.
Any guidance is helpful in times like these.
So he gestures to the fire, which starts to glow green with blue edging. And he says, you know, Aldana, you've been following me for a little while now. I like you. I like you a lot, but you haven't allowed yourself to be consumed by anything.
I'm consumed by my work.
Grief, passion, strong emotions are what drew me to you. Vengeance, you need to just let it out. Mortal lives are like a tinder, a fuel, really. And the most beautiful ones are the ones that shine so incredibly bright for such a short time. And I'm really just putting my faith in you in the way that you put your faith in me. I want you to show me how bright you can burn. Can you do that?
How do I do that?
Feel. Don't think. Look at your party. They're so thinking. He gestures to the 3 of them sleeping. Look, they're thinking even now. In their sleep. They're so confused. They're always talking about doing things and never doing them. Feel. Do what feels right to you.
I will try my best.
All flames are one flame, Aldana.
I appreciate the words.
You return to looking over your husband's notes. The next time you look up, Heros is not there, and the flame of the campfire has returned to a brilliant orange with simple yellow. Make a Arcana check while looking over your husband's notes.
Okay.
Did all that happen while we were sleeping, or is that before bedding?
100%
Yep.
sleeping.
Okay.
Plus 1.
15. You discover something in your husband's notes. Something about a secret society somewhere on this island. Supposedly it's in Corsairport. They are called the Eye of the Hydra.
Eye of the Hydra.
Supposedly they have a secret way in and out of the town through which they find rare and mystic arcane goods. Your husband was investigating them very briefly, but then stopped.
Secret Society, magical goods. Got it. But someplace I was already at.
Yeah, it's the city.
Yep. Alright. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. Once I get back to the city, I can look into it more further.
Very well. Lyra, talk about your dreams. You dream of being cast adrift in the ocean with only a single timber to cling to. So let me ask, can you swim?
I think she can.
Then perhaps the clinging is not super desperate, but still, there is nothing but roiling dark green sea and black sky in every direction, with the peal of thunder and the flash of lightning around you.
Whose phone's
No.
going off?
Yep, someone's phone.
It's off.
You begin to find yourself at the edge of a maelstrom, and you're being sucked down into it. And every time you blink, you see something. The first time, as you gasp for air, you see an unweighted scale, one side down, the other side up. When you blink again, you see Wynn's face, contorted in terror, a scar across her face, freshly drawn, and a brand being pressed against her cheek. When you blink again, just inches from being plunged into the icy depths of the maelstrom, you find yourself seeing a single mountain upside down. That's when you find Aldana over you, shaking you to wake you up for your watch.
She probably just like wakes up with a sudden gasp, like he scared her.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. Probably.
It's your turn for watch.
All right. Did anything happen on your watch?
No, nothing particular.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Should go take watch.
Okay. The night passes without too much trouble. All of you are feeling kind of groggy in the morning, and it is, of course, cold and misty.
All right, refresh spells. Do-do-do.
Like sits near the fire with her blanket and prays for an hour.
The didgeridoo.
Very well. What's the next plan?
Rest.
Based off the information we have, we either one, need to take the Rat King, or two, find another way to get information to find out where his girlfriend is.
Baldric will step in. Just so you know, taking the Rat King is not an option.
I agree. He's been nothing but nice to us, at least what I can tell from your... I don't know, you could be lying to us when you translate.
Wow.
I don't
will
think
not
you
lie
would.
to you.
You just accused a paladin of lying.
I said I don't think you would.
Uh-huh. You just implied a paladin would lie to you.
Yep. This paladin does not lie.
So what do we have then?
Could try to take the entire prison by force.
You said you've been here before, right, Aldana?
I've been to the town before. I've never been to this part of the forest before.
Have you ever heard anybody talking of an upside-down mountain?
Have I ever heard of anybody talking about an upside down mountain?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, that's fair.
It's quite peculiar, though. I'm sure if I saw one, it would burn into my brain.
We could try going back to town, asking about the prison, if anyone knows about the prison.
I
Or
doubt
about-
they do.
Or about your upside down town. Upside down mountain.
All right, if that is what you want to do.
We have nothing more.
Other than killing them.
Other than killing them.
The prison of Elberod.
We don't know how many people are down there.
Even I'm not so foolish to just storm the gates without knowing what we're fighting.
If we don't know what we're fighting and we die when we're down there, then nobody will be able to free those other prisoners ever, because they won't know about it.
Yeah, I agree. Smart. I mean, can we look at the horizon and see if there's any kind of mountain? That
You've never seen any mountains here, but you do know that to the south there is like a broken Badlands rocky area. You haven't seen it, but you've heard of it.
Okay.
Why are we looking for an upside down mountain?
It's just a hunch.
It's better than what we have.
That's a wild hunch.
I know. I'm gonna go get us some breakfast.
I'll take a hunch over destroying an entire prison area.
I'll join you in the hunt. Okay.
I just want to look. Please don't think that I'm complaining. I'm speaking to the audience at home. It is going to sound like complaining, no matter how I say this. You know, you really just make these beautiful prison dungeons. You stock them with all sorts of interesting encounters and characters, and then the players are just like, I don't want to storm that dungeon. Fuck that shit. Let's wander around until we find something.
No, we want to storm it. We just want to storm it later.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
AP.
don't think we can finish it in half an hour.
We wanna
No,
storm it, we just don't want to die.
it will probably
Yeah.
take you several episodes to completely clear the place, honestly.
We do want to storm it, just later. It's got my interest.
I want to do some hammer smashing, but I'm trying to role play here. But it's really hard.
Well, I
We've
gotta
gotta
tell
at
you,
least-
your roleplay in this episode has been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been.
We've
great.
got to at least tell somebody where the dungeon is, so if we don't come back, they can also storm it.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody in the table.
You get back, you
I'm
tell
not-
Buttercup, and then you immediately go storm the place in the last 10 minutes.
Yep. Pretty much.
I'm not
Can't
sure
wait
if
to
the
have.
lieutenant is going to come out to help us at all.
No.
I just can't wait for Lyra and Buttercup to have another conversation again. Do you all want to head back to town? Then.
Did Ash say he was going hunting with me to get breakfast?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to try and help.
I love
Well,
how Ash is following you around in a desperate attempt to be forgiven.
while we're getting breakfast, she'd be like, I saw Wynn in my dream last night, and I think she's alive, but I don't think, you know, she's happy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I'm not surprised. Is there anything else that you saw?
I saw a big storm. I was getting sucked down in the water. There's an unbalanced scale. Wynn's face, but she had a big scar on it. They were getting ready to brand her. And I saw an upside down mountain.
Nothing but wild goose chases. I don't know. This prison is the only likely place.
Wild goose chases.
I don't mean. We don't know where this mountain is. I mean, I'm happy to explore any mountain of any kind.
I feel like this was a message from Wellwind. It is not a wild goose chase.
Do you know where this mountain might be?
No.
I hope we can find it soon. Then,
Do you doubt the wisdom of my god?
of course not.
I just posted in chat and Cotton immediately flying elbows. I posted, I find your lack of faith disturbing. Because that Lyra could Darth Vader the shit out of Ash right now.
Well, let's find this mountain then.
Let me tell you something, Ash, okay?
Yeah.
You know, calling questions onto a coworker's religion, that's a pretty serious no-no, all right? If adventurers had an OSHA, they would be all over your ass right now.
Usha.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious HR violation.
Oh, shut.
I haven't been in one of those jobs in a while.
That's right. That's why you don't know about having magicians and
Yeah, comedians ever
show up at your workplace and roast
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I know.
Oof.
Sounds terrible.
It's
That's
well,
Big
it's
deal ever.
it's like being paid to have the least amount of fun possible.
Hey, at least you're being paid.
What's the plan then, friends?
Heading back
Lyra
to
and
this-
Ash come back with a handful of I wouldn't call them delicious, but hearty and nutritious mushrooms.
Can I make a delicious soup out of them?
You can make a soup out of them.
Dang it.
Do you have salt or any spices on your character sheet?
I have incense.
Incense is not
not
for human
edible, but,
consumption.
you know.
Yes. You could make it smell good by burning incense on the fire below the soup pot.
I had some weird stuff, but I think most of it's on Buttercup.
Yeah, no. Not gonna help you.
Would she make? Just I'm asking. I'm not trying to DM, but in the spirit of the game, would she make a nature or a survival check to make the soup delicious?
I mean, it's gonna taste like watery mushrooms, one way or another.
I love
What
mushrooms.
if I found some herbs while I was getting the mushrooms?
I will let you make a survival check.
Make a herbs check.
The soup tastes good.
A herbalism check.
A herbology check.
You hit a 20, and Aldana comes back,
dude.
and it's just like, damn, dog, look at all this dank leaf I found out there.
Found some
Praise
oregano.
Sativa, the demigod. Yeah, you managed to find several herbs that you don't recognize, but they smell good, and when you give them a little taste, you're pretty sure they won't kill you. They don't seem poisonous or toxic. You rub it, you don't seem allergic.
Well, that's good.
You can make a medium well tasting soup. And let's be super clear here. This is a soup prepared over a cook fire and an open forest very hastily in the morning in less than an hour.
And it's decent, and that's good enough for me.
It's decent. You would not
take
reject
that.
this would it be served to you at a low-end restaurant.
Soup plantation.
Fair enough.
I
That's all I'm saying.
I feel like Soup Plantation
Cream
is
of
solidly
mushroom?
low middle tier.
Okay.
To make cream of mushroom, you would need to start with milk, which you don't have. It's
I don't know,
literally
I'm-
just boiled mushrooms mashed
I'm
up.
looking
We had
at
a
it, yeah.
cow.
Aldana looks at
You don't want
Baldric.
my cream.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Yep,
You
that
all
happened.
have the medium quality soup. It could use salt. You really feel like it could use some salt. Everyone knows that. Listen, I'm gonna be real, incredibly real with you. When you're like, man, this restaurant food tastes great. You wanna know how they do it? Fuck
Spices.
tons of butter and salt.
Yep.
You look at Mario Batali, he's just like, in order to make this taste good, you got to use exact proportions, got to do all this and that. Then you're going to need a pound of butter and 2 fistfuls of salt.
The soup
Right.
secret cooking around here is 2 sticks of butter and 2 whole onions.
Yeah,
And garlic.
yeah. Oh,
And
well,
garlic.
not everybody likes garlic, but I'm definitely down with it.
Or garlic.
The more the better.
I should start bringing salt and rice on our little adventures out here.
Yeah, you could. They exist in the Adventurer's Handbook as things you can buy.
Huh.
I used to have a cook that just carried a whole bunch of random stuff, and I used flour to see somebody who was invisible once.
OP cook. So it looks like we're heading back to the city then.
I think so,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
We're gonna go back to the city, rest up, spread the word.
Maybe they know the directions of the nearest mountain range.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Okay.
Sounds
Can I
like
have
going.
someone roll a d12?
Sure.
You all make your way back to town. Sometime just around noon, you arrive. The gates are open, and you see the 7 woodworkers out. They're about to fell one of these super large trees. They seem like they're about 3/4 of the way through it. They're all very gingerly chopping at it.
I'll wave.
They all wave back, and one of them runs over to you and is like, "Oh, Lyra!
Hi.
Look, me and the boys, we've been carving this over the last few days, and we're super glad that you're back. Here, take it." And he hands you a wood-carved flute.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, we heard that you're a performer now, and, well, we were carving the flute anyway, but now that we've heard that you're into the performing arts, it just feels like a fortuitous circumstance.
Out of curiosity, who told you I was a performer now?
The lieutenant. He heard from, Buttercup.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, adventurers, when their player character isn't around, they'll just say the craziest things.
No, that's fair. She's blabbermouth.
I like her.
So there's a couple of things I want to do when we get into the city.
Absolutely.
One is get some basic herbs and some salts and some garlics and whatnot.
Absolutely. Let us turn to the
and then
equipment
also
section.
figure out, just like start asking around about the Eye of the Hydra.
How do you go about that? I'm very curious. You're just like, hey man, you down with the Eye of the Hydra? Anyone here part of a secret society?
Is there a temple in this town?
Oh, there is. It's in
With
fact
some-
the Twisted Knot. Is the temple to Jatau.
Cool. And I'm assuming they have some type of some books and stuff that I could do some research with.
They do not. They have,
Okay.
they have no such things beyond the records of.
Let me think about it.
All right.
First, I'll get those things.
I'm gonna ask Tara about the prison.
Sorry. So page 158 in the player's handbook tells you the price of goods like flour, salt, cinnamon, ginger. You buy whatever you need and add it to your character sheet.
Cool.
I would assume you could supplement wheat for rice if that's something you wanted. Like similar goods.
Right.
So you go speak to Tara. And she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're back."
It
I was
shouldn't be that
sure.
surprising.
You left for a whole day, and last time this happened, you were captured by succubus.
Well, I suppose we're going to be surprising you more and more often.
Okay.
Do you know anything about this prison? It's called the Prison of
Yeah.
Elbarad.
It's actually spelled correctly in the Roll20 chat. Interestingly enough, Ealbarad. It's not Alebeard. It's Elbarad.
Eldorado.
Everything you just said is wrong. I believe I told you about this place, actually. You asked me about places other adventurers had been to.
That's true, we did.
Yeah, I told you everything I knew about it. Have you been there?
Yes.
Would you like to tell me more about it? That way, if you die in the future, I could pass it along to any future adventurers. Like if there was a map, maybe some basic information about it, non-proprietary information.
I believe on our map there's a shrine marked as an X.
Okay, I'll let all the future adventurers know.
And inside that there's a bowl. There's a bowl that if you sacrifice some blood in the 4 spots, you'll be teleported.
That sounds pretty evil.
It's not so evil. I mean,
It sounds bad, doesn't it?
She pulls out her little icon of Jital and just says a quick prayer with it in her hands. And she says, yeah, it sounds pretty bad.
yeah, I'm not going to say it's good, and it doesn't lead to anywhere good. I'm not sure if the ritual is inherently evil, though.
Tell the adventurers that they need to investigate it if they come by.
Well,
If they have a chance.
most of the adventurers, we have a sleepy dwarf.
I mean, if we die.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. If you don't come back in 7 days, I'll inform everyone. Also, anything you leave in your room is mine. Well, if you're staying the night, it's 5 silver. Let me go get you some pretzels. They're nice and warm, and we've got a little bit of mustard with some honey.
Honey sounds good.
That'd be welcome. Where do you get the honey?
Bees?
Are there bees on this island?
Yeah, there are bees on this island.
Oh, where?
Towards the north side of town.
Okay.
They're wild. They're also giant.
Is that so?
Giant? How giant is giant for a bee? Like this big?
Have you ever seen a small flying dog?
I'm gonna go with no.
Like a chihuahua?
Oh, okay.
Like a chihuahua that can fly.
With a stinger the size of your fist.
So like that big.
Have you ever heard of an upside down mountain?
I've heard of the Undermountain.
What's the Undermountain?
It's a rumor. It's from the old pirate days. During the time of that salty sea pirate.
Gilligan?
Sorry, I'm looking up his name.
Gilligan?
Completely evaded me. Bartholomew Blackhand. Some of the crew has gone to the south. Said that they found drow raiders Duragar in the broken Badlands and a single lonely mountain from which the Duragar issued forth their slave takers. It's rumored that throughout the landscape of the southern Badlands that there are many caves where you can find tombs, ancient tombs, great treasures. But there's a connection for some of them, an underground cavern network. I'm not sure I believe it myself. Mostly sounds like talk. I mean, anyone who had been there probably wouldn't have survived it. But some of the pirate crew are pretty strong. Bartholomew Blackhand was no slouch, that's for sure.
Sounds like a lot of the stuff that we're looking into.
Well, I wouldn't trust the source. I mean, drunk pirates will make up stories 7 days a week. But it could be a place to start. I mean,
stories usually have some truth to them.
it's been a while since anyone's seen any drow or Duragar around. I mean, as long as you haven't run into any of them, you can just assume that there's nothing in the south.
There's another thing I want you to tell adventurers if we die.
Yes?
There was a young woman named Wynn. You remember when she came in?
I recall her.
She has been captured and sold to somebody, and we are looking for her. Make sure that they look for her too.
I can tell them that, but I have to tell you, adventurers are fickle folk, and while your group seems to be particularly pious and righteous, let's take, for instance, that dwarven fellow upstairs. I think he keeps trying to turn wooden coins into golden coins, give them to me, and then pretend that I don't notice that they turn back into wood after a few hours.
He does seem rather grumpy.
Well, he does seem like someone who's gonna owe me a lot on his tab, but yes. I would say he is considerably
Give
less...
him a break. He did die.
Okay.
He got better, but he did die.
I'd say he seems considerably less righteous than the rest of them. Baldric, anything you want to do in town?
No, well, here's I don't know, are we going to go back tonight So
There's
or are we gonna-
no time for further adventure.
Yeah. Then I think Baldric, in the meantime, will do some shopping this week, and I'll figure out what my list is going to be.
Very well. Ash, anything in town?
Nope, that's it.
Aldana, I'm circling back to you. You were going to investigate the secret society, the Eye of the Hydra. Figured out a way you would like
I
to.
know if there's any kind of symbol associated with them or
Your
Any
husband's
kind of
notes were some crudely drawn drawings. A triangle with a circular eye set behind it.
can I redraw that on like another piece of paper and show the lady who's been giving us the information? I forget her name.
Tara, the innkeeper.
Tara. Yeah.
She looks at it and says, "What's that?"
It's something I've been trying to figure out myself. Have you ever seen this symbol?
Can't say that I have. I'm not, the most scholarly of cleric, tavern owner, brewer.
Are we there for this
Innkeeper.
conversation?
I think that's up to Aldana to decide whether she wants anyone to hear this or not.
Probably not.
I don't do a lot of book learning.
Is there someone I could confer with then?
For
Perhaps
weird
find out.
arcane symbols,
Yes.
there's the Magister in town.
Magister. I'll be sure to look him up. Thank you.
Well, he's, the only tower in town, Wizard Tower. You go there,
Ah.
you get your...
I shan't miss it then. Thank you so much for your help. And I'll probably go to the tower.
Okay. It is a single stone tower in an entire town built of, I wouldn't say beautiful, but of very nice wood. Outside is a sign that says, "No visitors. Please make an appointment."
Is there a door?
There is no door, in fact.
Is there...
But there is a cat sitting by the sign.
Hello there. I
Meow.
wish to gain entrance to the castle, or to the tower.
Meow.
Yes, I know, Meow. Can you talk to whoever it is?
The cat brushes up against your leg and kind of walks around you and sniffs.
I'll hold my hand out so it'll sniff my hand.
The cat leaps onto your forearm and uses that to scramble and claw its way up onto your shoulder.
That's fine. I'll pet it on my shoulder.
A door appears on the tower.
Thank you so much.
The door opens.
Hello?
Come in.
And I step towards the voice.
As you step inside, it's like a nice, homely woodworking shop. There's lots of half-finished woodworking projects. There's an old man bent over, gray-haired, lank. His robes must have once been of many colors, but now appear to have all had the dyes bled out. He says, "Yes, you've come for spell components, minor things, maybe a little diamond dust, jewels,
Actually,
spell
some-
books.
Some information, actually.
Can you hand me that lathe?"
Hand in the lathe.
All right.
What's the quality of woodworkmanship?
Imagine a woodworking shop run by an ancient wizard who has spent years learning, like dozens of years, learning exact, precise hand gestures and intonations in order to rewrite reality. Imagine someone use that focused power in order to make wood.
Woodwork.
This is some incredibly
Excellent.
finely detailed. He's not fast, that's for sure.
They don't need to be when they're that beautiful. These are these are a work of art. Do you
Oh,
agree
thank you.
with any magical properties, or are they just...
No, that's not... I did that in my younger years, but then one of my benches became a mimic and bit someone's ass. It was a very serious problem, you know. I made an owlbearer too in my time.
Well, they all look very lovely.
Sasha, get off of a good... Come here. And reaches up and takes the cat. And is just like, you're the worst familiar in history. I hate you. You're so dumb.
I was wondering if you've ever seen this or come across this symbol before, and I'll hand them the symbol I drew.
Oh, yes. The cult that set up in town a few years ago. Well, you got yourself wrapped up in that business, huh?
They may have some more information that I may need to acquire.
That'll be fairly difficult. They've been rather secretive.
Yes. I aim to gather some information from them as far as certain magical items in the area.
Magical items, you say? Well, if you find any, I'd certainly be willing to buy them. For a good price.
I may take you up on that offer.
Let me tell you, though, the only cultist I've ever been able to identify is one that cast off that life. Renounced it.
Would you happen to know his name?
I would. Lieutenant Aldo Breen.
Really?
Yes, as a younger man, he was always sneaking out into the forest via the Eye of the Hydra's secret tunnels, you know.
Aldo Breen.
B-R-E-E-N. Yes.
Well, that information is most helpful.
Is it? Certainly more helpful than Aldo Breen.
It's more information than I came in with, so thank you so much for that. Would I be able to purchase one of your smaller woodworks?
Oh, I don't have anything finished right now.
Perhaps a commission, then? I could pick it up later.
He looks around the shop and is like, I'm quite busy, you know. I don't really do commissions. It's mostly a labor of love and
I see.
Just kind of feeling the space out.
Right. Well, you've been, again, most helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Come back anytime for your magical needs.
I will. Thank you. And I'll bow and walk out.
You hear him as you exit the door. The door disappears. But before the door closes, you hear, "No, Sasha, don't follow her!"
Dang it, I almost got a cat.
I mean, you can buy a cat in town if you want. Listen, at Game of Thrones, I looked at Cotton's house character sheet. She's got like 5 animals that she's assigned to different members of her house. There's an intense animal chart that's like...
Not surprised.
6 columns deep.
There's even a pig.
There is a pig, yes.
Nice.
His name is Apple.
But is there a cow?
Friends, we come to the end of our time. And also the end of the 9th night of Corsairport. There were several opportunities for adventure tonight, but I feel like information gathering was the name of the game. And perhaps avoiding a bad end in the prison of Elbarad King.
We'll get there.
You can always make new characters.
But
Can you?
I've already got one. It's fine.
You know, in a month, Mick is
I'm
going to
make
be
a backup.
Mick is going to be back, and then we'll be back to playing the other campaign, and we'll only be playing this campaign when someone's missing. Oh shit! Yeah.
I'll even have a backup character made ahead of time.
You're like, I'll have a backup for my backup.
Welcome to the world of D&D.
With how many unearthed arcanas they're releasing, there'll be quite a few classes to try out.
You know, I gotta tell you, honestly, I feel like normally you can just get by making a really interesting character on just the player's handbook.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
Yep.
Of course.
I know half of you are using Unearthed Arcana or Elemental Evil, but
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
That's the first time I've done that.
But don't mind me. I basically never play D&D. I always game master it. The number of D&D characters I played are very small, and are mostly bards or wizards.
I was looking
I'm-
at the Onomancer. It looked pretty dope.
Yeah, it's really not.
I want to do a mystic because I've always wanted a class called a mystic. So just because there is one, I want to try it.
Party wipe games. Thank you for the raid. We were in some intense wizard role-playing action. I didn't want to interrupt that. You know, speaking of people who have played a wizard recently, let's start our outros with conorhughes, aka Win the Branded, aka Win the MacGuffin, aka Win the Hostage,
AKA win. Not yet branded. Totally. Still
Oh, she's branded, man.
AKA
holding out. Holding out.
We
hope.
saw it happen in a prophetic dream.
AKA
Yeah.
gilded.
Everything that Lyra sees definitely happens, and it's not at all a figment of her own imagination or nightmares. 100% real.
The real question is: are they gilded or are they gilded?
Are they... Stars without numbers. Oh boy.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Enjoyed the game. Yeah, my name is conorhughes. You can find me at twitch.tv/conorhughes. Hopefully I'll be on this week, but I might not. I'll be on next week if not. Bearded, what's going on with you?
Just looking at your majestic horse.
That's right.
Turned out
Everyone-
really good.
Echo, thank you. Echo is the envy of everyone's majestic horse. Hopefully.
I almost got a majestic cat, but yeah. You can find me beardedjalapno at Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and drawing stuff, doing Inktober stuff right now, and a couple commissions, and I gotta finish AP stuff and a bunch of stuff. But yeah, what about you, Cotton?
Yeah, what about you, Cotton?
What
Hi, I'm
about
Cotton.
you, Cotton?
I doodle and stuff. You can find me on AP's Thursday night show of Battletech and his Sunday night show of Game of Thrones occasionally, where I have a surplus of random animals, including a pig. And that's all for me. Let's go to you, Shep.
Oof, that's a heck of a cough.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So I'm robSHEPart on Twitch and Instagram and everywhere that you might be, because I've got that account everywhere. So I draw creatures and D&D monsters and characters and all that cool stuff. I try to be on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays in the early afternoons, California time. And hopefully I'll see you guys there. That's it. Back to you, AP.
You know, I like when I catch like Connor and Shep and Mick all streaming during the day at the same time.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun.
I'm down with it. But it seems hard. Like last week, I barely caught you guys at all. 2
Yeah,
weeks
the
ago, I
stars have
caught
to
you guys.
line up.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I caught you guys like multiple days in a row, and I was like, look at all this art making. Yeah.
Yeah, when we got the Kagar going, it's a good time.
I don't use Khadgar. I use multi-Twitch like a boss.
Okay.
I
mean,
maximize my Twitch coverage, friend.
that didn't used to have the same kind of chat functionality that Kagar did.
Indeed. Oh,
But,
snap.
yep.
I forgot to run an ad during the break tonight. Look, I'm not used to this.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Plus, I tried to run one during the intros, and it crashed the stream. Come on now, like.
Yeah, that would have sucked to crash a stream mid-stream.
What can I say for my outros? Life is darkness and pain, struggling through it towards our inevitable doom. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is an introspection on life from the most negative angle possible. We'll be back next week, question mark.
As you wish.
Good. Sounds good.
We'll be back next week then. I don't know what we'll be doing. It sounds like there's a lot of different directions we could go. Clear the prison, try to find Wynn, travel into the middle of a hostile rocky badlands full of evil slavers, wander around town looking for secret cults.
The buffet of stuff to do.
A buffet of riches.
I noticed you said clear that temple as something other than find wind. So, a hint?
We've already established she's not there.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah. Yep.
She's at the Undermountain.
You think?
In a dream.
Yeah, if you assume that Lyra's dreams are prophetic and correct.
Or that AP would give us any information to where she's at.
That is another good point.
Ever.
Help the players? That doesn't
Technically,
sound like my style.
just because Lyra thinks her dreams are true doesn't mean they're true at all.
I mean, I guess we'll have to find out. Just how strongly do you believe in the power of God?
Oh, she believes completely that these are absolutely accurate.
It is.
Gosh.
And on that bombshell,
I gotta tell you, I really would love a short animation or even just like 2 or 3 pictures of Lyra and Aldana doing the Power of Ra dance from... You know what I'm talking about? From the Moses thing, the animated movie? I can't remember what it is.
The Prince of Egypt.
Yes, Prince of Egypt. Yeah, the you're playing with the big boys now, right? Where the 2 guys are just like, you're playing with the big boy, and like another one appears behind him and he does the same thing. Yeah, I would love to see Lyra and Aldana doing that around Ash. Ash is like, Guzangus is the most powerful god, and Lyra and Aldana are just like, have you heard of Heros Firebringer? Flame shooting everywhere.
it just cuts to that episode or that section in Coco where it's like, it's just a cactus and then everything's on fire and then stuff's like crawling out of the cactus.
What the fuck? I've never seen Coco. So.
It was okay. That's probably why. Yeah, they did.
That's wild. Flaming cactus.
It took me a second, but I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I forget her name at the moment.
Frida or something like that.
Frida Kahlo. Yeah.
Oh, the artist. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did this whole section with her where she was like setting up this theater project, and like her idea was like there's a cactus and it's her face, and then everything's in flames, and then like from out of the cactus crawls like little hers. Yeah, it was crazy. But it was awesome at the same time. I'll send it to you.
If you've seen her art, it's a little bit weird. So they mimicked that.
No. I mean, if you've ever read the story of her and her husband, I think he cheated on her at one point, and then they got back together. They had like a whirlwind romance, and everyone was like, oh my god, I love these people. Even if I don't like their art, I fucking love them. Wow.
Frida was weird, but she was cool.
Friends, that's it for us tonight. I have nothing more to add. I don't have any more doomsaying. I have to tell you, as Connor like removes and adds layers to this drawing, it freaks me the fuck out. Like when he takes away the black lines to everything, I'm like, well, it's so weird. And then he like takes away some of the coloring. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of
totally different horse depending on what layers he has active. I don't understand how you people make art. It's some weird shit.
He's basically trying to figure out which layers, what he did on what layer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe people should stop by your stream every once in a while, AP, and they could watch people make art, and they can figure it out for themselves.
Here, you mean this show right now?
Yeah.
You're trying to sell people who are watching the show on this show. That feels like a real easy sell.
I'm always down for that low-hanging fruit.
As my final note, I want to say this. Some of you might know that Netflix has a show called Carmen Sandiego. I was very sad to hear that they weren't using the original theme song. But in the second season, I've noticed that I'm pretty sure that 100% of the locations that they go to in the second season are mentioned in the original theme song. I mean, they're in Botswana, they're in Scandinavia, they go to Down Under. I think that might have been the creators being like, we're going to give you a little something. Because, and I bring this around, the original theme song for Carmen Sandiego included an ad for the show in the intro of the show, where they were like, Mondays through Fridays at 5. You know, no one does that anymore. No one does. Well, first off, no one does a cappella live show introductions.
That's true.
Right? But they definitely don't include when the show is broadcast at anymore.
Because you're usually watching it when it's being broadcast.
Yeah. I feel like we really missed something out there. Like,
yeah.
Carmen Sandiego was Legend of the Hidden Temple. That was another great one on
that's a good one.
Nickelodeon. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Love that show.
And instead, we somehow get another season of The Bachelor.
Yeah.
That's my last
Better.
thought for the night.
Make The Bachelor / the Legend of the Hidden Temple, where they got to run through that to get, you know, the ladies and whatnot, instead of the monkey. I don't know how that would
I have
work.
nothing to say to that. I was just,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.